It's on you.
It's on. Let's do what we do.
You asked the wrong person.
Let's do what we do. Hey everybody on the world, in the world. I'm Dr. Karen. Just stay tuned. Okay. I don't know who's. It's us now. It's on us. He's ready.
All right. Good morning. Happy Saturday, and welcome to Let's Talk South Flow Real Estate. This is Alicia, your host, and we have
Tamika Mills is broker owner of Robinboro Realty. I can be reached at 954-404-4646, and I'm happy to be back in the studio today.
Oh, we're glad you are back in the studio. Good morning. I am Dr. Karen. I am the co-host, and I am the broker of K1 Realty Group, and thank you for joining us. And all my social media is K1 Realty Group and Dr. Karen Lewis. And if you're thinking of buying or selling, we definitely can help you. We have a team of qualified agents who can get the job done. 954-248-9149. I'll say that again, 954-248-9149. And I'm going to pass the mic to our guest.
Good morning. Thank you guys for having me. My name is Mike, known as Loans with Mike on Instagram. I am with Highlands Residential Mortgage. I am a loan officer, certified mortgage advisor. I'm glad to be here.
Woohoo, we're glad to have you.
Awesome. Yes, we're definitely glad to have you, Mike. How are you doing today?
Good. Can't complain.
That's good. We have a lot of questions for you today. To get started, kind of let us know what brought you into the mortgage industry.
So I kind of stumbled across it. I was a realtor before. And I was just having
and I flipped it around myself. I went from my mortgage to the realtor.
Me too, Tamika.
Wait.
Okay,
yep,
finish
exactly
talking.
I've always pretty much been in real estate as my career. I was a realtor before. I focused on pre-foreclosures a lot as a listing agent. And I was having a conversation one time with my loan officer, and I guess he kind of saw something in me, believed in me that I would be able to, be really good on the mortgage side because I am very analytical. I am a numbers guy, stats and stuff like that. So he brought me in, and he's like, look, you can do this. And we kind of, as soon as I committed to it, I let go of my license, did not do real estate anymore because I understood it was a conflict of interest for my realtors. And I just pushed all the way through. And honestly, I'm glad I made the change for me personally.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow. Mike, I see you out there doing some great things. You everywhere I turn, it's Mike Molina. One of the things I see, I don't know if you're still doing it. I hadn't had a chance to get on there, but I hear people in the background talking about it. Are you still on that Monday with Mike or whatever it is? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Monday Mortgage Minutes every single Monday at 10 a.m. with my realtors. And it's just educating them about the what's going on in the market. Very, very important because there's a lot of misconceptions, right, in terms of what you see in the media, what people are talking about. And so my job as a loan officer is to kind of go out there and make sure that my agents understand, hey, don't be afraid. These are the facts. These are the things that we're seeing in the market. Just keep pushing, educate your clients that are on the fence, and let them know that everything's going to be okay. And I did a similar thing in 2020. I never had that Monday Mortgage Minute. But in 2020, when COVID hit, I would literally send out videos every single day. Kind of the same thing. Just, hey, don't worry about it. This is where we're headed. Mm-hmm. This is what it looks like.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, so I got another question. Okay, all
right.
So, it's on then. So, Mike, I be trying to respect them because I don't stop running my mouth. But here's one of the things that everybody is afraid of: the interest rate. Buyers are not wanting to buy, and I heard this right here, and tell us about this. I heard marry the house, date the interest. Mm-hmm. And what that means, what my perspective of it is, okay, now since it's a buyer's market, you can go ahead and get a house for a lower amount than you would have gotten that house in a year ago because it was a seller's market.
Correct.
And so you're going to have that house and you can stay with that house forever if you choose to. But that interest rate, don't worry about it right now. Somebody wants to talk, but not right now. So with that interest rate, what goes up comes down. Mm-hmm. And so therefore you can stay in that house a few years and then, refinance at interest rate.
And that's exactly what our goal is with the team. You have the people, it's funny, you have the people that wanted to wait for home prices to come down when rates were low, and now they want to wait for rates to come down when home prices are coming down. So it's kind of a give and take. Our focus is making sure that they understand, hey, this is your payment. Are you comfortable with the payment? We don't push rate. Right, the market is the market. This is your payment. Are you comfortable with this? Is this something that is doable for you, based off of your financial goals, what you have monthly and stuff like that? And we have these conversations with our clients during our consultations so that we can get a better grasp. It's not just sending that pre-approval. It's what are you comfortable with paying monthly? Because one of the big differences between renting and owning is that you're coming in when you buy your property at the worst case scenario, meaning that's most likely the highest payment you're going to have over the next 30 years, because you're going to be able to refinance, knock that down as you knock down your amortization for your loan and everything, as opposed to your rent where you're coming in at best case scenario, because over time that's going to increase as well.
I like that.
Awesome, because I've heard of a lot of that. Marry the house, date the rate.
Divorce the landlord.
Yeah.
Oh, say that. Wait.
Repeat that.
That's right.
And divorce the landlord.
That's right.
I like that one. So if you see that on my Instagram or something,
yes,
I got it from you. Okay, I like that one. Yeah. I missed that part though. All right, so radio time. Marry the house.
Date the rate.
Divorce
the landlord.
Oh, we got
that. It's that time.
All right.
I always hear about people always asking me, what do they think the market is going to do? We cannot predict the market. And I always tell people, when is the best time to buy? Please tell people when is the best time to buy, Mike.
When you can afford to buy it.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you.
There is no timing the market. Even hedge fund investors, that their job is to make sure that they that they profit for their investors.
Right.
They don't time the market. They look at different spots in between to make sure that they can get in at the perfect time, not the perfect time, at around the best time. The best time when you're buying a home is always when you can actually afford to do it, when you can get that pre-approval, when you have your down payment saved up. Buying a home is always going to be beneficial. Always.
I like that too.
See, everyone, it's no perfect time. You cannot time the market if you can afford it. Now, you all got to call Mike.
Yeah.
You got to get pre-approved by Mike.
You gave out let's go around because, people are ready. We're ready for you to buy, right now. And even if you're not ready to buy, at least call and have a conversation with, whether you have a conversation with one of these ladies here or you have a conversation with Mike, so that you can still educate yourself and you know what you need to do and not be afraid, because a lot of times we don't have enough information, but we don't make that move because we don't have enough information. Exactly. And that's the reason that we have the show, so that you can become educated and make the right decision.
A lot of people still think, I'll still get phone calls to this day about wanting to do FHA or conventional because they believe conventional is 20% down minimum. These are conversations that we have all the time. And what we do specifically within our team is we do consultations with every single client. We had 4 on Friday, we have like 3 on Monday, and we have another 3 on Tuesday with buyers that filled out applications because they just want to know where they're at. And so we sit down with them for 45 minutes to an hour, and we go over their whole process with them. If they're ready, where they need to, where they can purchase at, and we talk with them about their budget. And if they're not ready, what the steps they need to take in order to get there, because we want to stop renting. Like, we want you to stop renting. We want you to buy that property, build that generational wealth, because it does start with that first home.
Yeah. So tell our audience, Mike, how can they reach you? What's your contact on Instagram, your cell phone? How can they get in contact with you?
So my cell is 786-719-7117. My email is mmolina@highlandsmortgage.com. My Instagram is @loanswithmike. South Florida. That's pretty much it. Those are the 3 places you can find me. I have Facebook, I have TikTok, but I'm usually only on Instagram for the most part.
So I'm going to be the Mike. I'm going to be the advocate for my listeners. They didn't get all of that under no circumstances. I don't care how good they are. So just give out the phone number again.
Gotcha. 786-719-7117.
That's his direct contact number, you all.
And he works around the clock.
Yes, that's my cell. Like that's
his personal cell. Okay,
cell.
My family has that number. So,
so WMBM listeners, you heard that his family has that number. So call him now. My number 954-248-9149. I call that my money phone. The phone number my family have, I don't pick up that half the time.
You know what?
All right, Alicia.
All right, Mike. So we're telling everybody why it's so good to buy, right? Divorce their landlord. What are the top 3 reasons you can give our buyers today on why that's important?
Yeah, so, I mean, it starts with one property and building generational wealth over time, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to be, a lot of people are still the first person to buy a property in their family. And so it's going to start with that one, because what happens is over time that those payments that you're making goes towards your house. It's almost like having your house as a piggy bank, as a savings account, so that when you retire, it's another thing that people are, their 401k accounts, people are worried about their 401k in the future and things like that. Your home is your asset. And so when you retire, you're going to be able to take out that money if you need to be able to survive as time goes on. Or if you don't need that money, you're able to pass that down to your children, and then they have something to build off of, right? Mm-hmm. We talk about this all the time, especially with NAREB specifically, right? Minorities, Hispanics, and blacks are the lowest home ownership rate, and they are basically the lowest income, and it starts with real estate specifically. 74% of homeowners, 74% of white people own homes, 49% Hispanic, and 44% black, and you can see that wealth gap. It's literally right in front of us. Buying a house is the first step to building that generational wealth.
Awesome.
I like that. Yeah, that's what we do. We promote that with NAREB, National Association of Real Estate mm-hmm. Brokers. And you all heard the numbers on it. And again, that's our job, to go ahead and push home ownership, push home ownership, push home ownership. If you're listening and you have a house, if you know somebody, at least have them call in or call Mike or somebody just to get the information.
Yes. Yeah. Even if you're thinking about 1 year, 2 year, 3 years down the line, you have to start. You need to know this is what you need to do. A lot of people think buying a house is very difficult. It's not. There's 3 things that you need to look at: credit, income, and assets. Those are the biggest things. This is how much money you need to have saved up. There's credit that you need to be realistically. You can be at 600, 620 and be able to get approved for an FHA loan, right? When you're looking at income, it's more about how much debt you have. So if you have a lot of debt, it's about lowering that debt down over time. And then your down payment, there's a lot of down payment assistance programs coming out for first-time home buyers right now, a lot. And you're going to be able to take advantage of that. And they're becoming much more accessible, much easier for people to be able to get into. So that down payment, just because you don't have all that money right now, doesn't mean that you're not ready. Let's sit down. Let's look at everything together, and I'll tell you, hey, this is where your credit needs to be. This is where you need to have in terms of your debt to income ratio. And then this is how much you're going to need to save, if you need to save anything, because you may be a hometown hero, or you may just qualify for the Florida bond. You may qualify for Broward Home Buyer Purchase Assistance, Miami MDEETS, all of these programs that are out here that you're able to utilize for down payment assistance to make your dream of home ownership true. And
so, Mike, your company does work with those down payment assistance programs.
Yes, we don't work specifically with
right,
MDs,
but you can work with.
But I do Broward Home Buyer Purchase Assistance. I have the Florida bond. I have Hometown Heroes. But we still have that conversation. I am literally about home ownership. So if that person comes to me and says, "Hey, I want to do MDEETS," go to Mark Williams, go to this other person, and they're going to teach you the ropes. We're trying to get into it. I've already spoken to the guy, but we have to do that in January.
Don't worry about it. We're going to get you in there so you can be offered that as well. We're going to get you in there.
Wow,
you are for home ownership as well.
That's good. So we're telling people, don't fear. Just call, get educated. It does not matter what your credit score is, even if it's 400, and you just have a thought process on you wanting to purchase. Let him still help you get to that point. It's not that you can't afford a house. It's just that you may have to do a little bit more work than the next person, but you can get a house, Exactly. And even if you got to get a team, everybody live together until you get to the next level, Just make it happen and get the information. That's the job. Get the information.
Absolutely.
Bum, 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 bum. Y'all want me to keep talking? Because I can. They're looking at me. WMBM listeners. They're looking over. I want y'all to know what it looks like behind the scenes. Everybody eyes on me. All right. So, Mike. Okay. So, right now, you have this buyer that's listening to us. 400 credit score. Income. They've been on their job, but their income is $30,000. Now, here's the part that some people may get stuck at, is that let's forget the credit score. Their income is $30,000, and what are they going to afford? I mean, what do they do at that point? You can't tell them that, hey, you can get a house now unless they go get another job or do something else, because they get stuck right there.
Yeah. So that income, especially in South Florida market, it's very tough to qualify. Tamika and I were talking about this earlier this year, and it's gotten even tougher. For one person to be on the application by themselves right now is very, very difficult unless they're making upwards of $60,000, $70,000 a year. But we still work with clients that are only approved for $100,000 on a condo, $120,000, and we try to make it work whatever we can. So it's about just coming in, even if you have that income, you have that credit, just find out, because you will be surprised the information that you will receive from us to say, hey, what about if you do this? What about if you do that? Because a lot of times they'll fill out an application and they'll say, okay, they'll only show that, their job has $30,000, but then they may be getting, Social Security for someone that is their dependent. They may be getting some sort of child support that they can use. You can use food stamps. Any sort of non-taxable income can also be used as well to help you qualify for homes. It's different ways to kind of work around it. To be able to make it work for them.
Mike, do you do reverse mortgages?
I do not. No.
Okay. Gotcha.
Now I have another question. So I know we are always pushing single family homes, but have you ever touched on the subject with some of these clients of buying 1 to 4 units and how they can start creating generational wealth and also at the same time becoming an investor?
Yeah.
So how do you pose that scenario to them? Because everyone is like, okay, then I want a single family home, but hey, you want to become an investor at the same time. So how do you try to break that down to them as well? Getting into that and buying up 2 to 4 units and say, hey, this is another scenario you can also get into as well.
One thing though, maybe that's like kind of like our job a little bit, before they even get there, especially somebody like you, Tamika.
No, but even as a financing option.
Yeah, because then they don't know that they could get approved for more.
Yes,
because you can use that rental income. So whenever they have that, I guess whenever they bring that up, we automatically do that in the consultation. So I'll go. The way I do my consultations, I show them the application, like right in front of them. So I'm like, okay, let's switch this over to a duplex, a triplex. Let's see what you qualify for.
Oh, so you do that? That's excellent.
Yeah, we do it right in front of them.
We'll see, that's
right, because they don't even know. They didn't even know that they can even qualify for a duplex or a triplex or so.
Exactly.
So that's good.
Because I do deal with a lot of clients who may be single. Say, hey, I want to be also an investor. So how can I acquire this this property, making it to, as we call it? The term came around in 2020, but it's around before, house hacking. How can I start doing that?
Yeah. We there's actually been an uptick of multifamily purchases recently since 2020 because of that. Right. And we do that all the time in our consultation. So if they say, "Oh, I'm curious," like the first question that we ask is, are you looking for townhouse, condo, single family, multifamily? What is it? Oh, I don't know. We'll go over all 4. We'll go over condo, townhouse, single family, and then, hey, if you're looking at a multifamily, this is where you're going to be. What are you thinking? The I guess the biggest hurdle, because a lot of my clients may be very, very tight on funds. Another thing, right? Closing costs right now are very, very expensive because of rates and stuff like that. And so the best thing that I try to do is I try to get them into down payment assistance to help them with that cash to close as much as possible. And it's very hard to do that with a multifamily because those purchase price limits are capped. So it's just about knowing the borrower and having that conversation. If they have the funds and they can do everything out of pocket, absolutely. Let's look at that duplex, triplex, or quadplex and make it work, because now we can look at 500, 600
That's good.
purchase price range.
Mm-hmm. All right, great info, Mike. Again, tell our audience how they can get in contact with you.
Yeah, so my cell is 786-719-7117.
Please get in contact with Mike, y'all.
And you can also get in contact with me, too, because I can help you by a cell, 954-248-9149.
And you can get in contact with me as well, 954-404-4646.
All right, and this is Alicia, Real Estate Her First on Instagram. You can always get in contact with me at 954-203-8826.
You have, look at all this information that you can call in and get. Somebody can call in. Let us know if you're hearing us. Alicia, what's the phone number?
The phone number is 1-888-599-9626. Give us a call. Ask any questions you have. Mike is here for the next, 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. Make it worth your while, guys.
Wow, Mike.
And so while we wait, what I wanted to ask you, right? We're here, we're given all this knowledge. Currently, a lot of people are afraid of the current market as it balances out. I have renters that are saying, I'm scared to buy, but they're not scared to pay double the mortgage, in rent. So let's talk to our renters. Let's let them know, what's the reason? Why is it so important to cut costs and purchase? Because technically, they're cutting their monthly costs when they purchase. Yes. Mortgages less than rent, right?
Typically, yeah. But let's say that slate is 0-0, right? Let's say your mortgage is gonna the same as what you're renting right now, right? And you're renting at a bigger spot than what you would get on a mortgage. This is what I want you to think of. Let's say you're renting at $2,000 a month, right? Over the next year, you've spent $24,000, right? If you're waiting, quote unquote, waiting for next year to purchase for X and Y reason that you're just making an excuse for yourself as a renter. So we'll put that into perspective. $24,000 of rent that you've wasted for that year that you will not get back, okay? As opposed to buying now, and let's say that rates do come down next year. Let's say they go into I believe they're going to be at the mid to high fives by the end of next year, right? So that would be a savings of, on average, about $300 a month that you would save starting next year. So if you purchase, right, you're technically paying $300 more this year on your mortgage than you would next. So 300 times 12 is 3,600. How much money have you really lost renting? 24,000 or 3,600? And this is just a basic analysis. It doesn't go into the fact of the amount of amortization that you pay down on that property that you own, which your amortization is basically your mortgage, right? Every mortgage payment you make is gonna decrease your loan amount, right? And then also the fact the appreciation that you're gonna gain from now to next year as well. So when I really do the numbers with you, when I show you what the cost of waiting worksheet looks like, it's not 24,000 or 3,600. It's literally like $40-something thousand compared to that $3,600 that you're paying on a higher mortgage right now than you would next year.
Wow. Thank you for
the breakdown. Thank you for the breakdown.
You still probably That's deep. That's deep. Okay. One of my Instagram listeners asked me, tell me about something that you can tell them about the Veterans Program.
Yeah, so the VA program is coupled nicely with the Hometown Heroes program. You do not have to be a first-time home buyer as a VA to still use Hometown Heroes. So automatically, VA is a 0% down payment mortgage loan. So you'll be coming in with no down payment. You only need closing costs. And what we do is we couple that with your Hometown Heroes, and you literally come in with nothing down. This is a loan that you are able to come in with zero down and be able to benefit from. And that 5% that you get is not going to be 5% in closing costs. So you can use that to actually lower down your loan amount as well. And that helps you come in with a little bit of equity. And so VA is the best loan program out there for the people that could qualify, which are veterans, or spouses of veterans as well. But yeah, definitely, if you think that you're eligible for a VA, you should already own a home. Like you got to get to it because.
Don, I hope you heard that. If not, call me 954-248-9149, and then we'll let you connect with Mike. Though, good information.
Great information.
It's good, especially in this timing when we hear the word recession. People, it's just from a natural standpoint, people are fearful. And when they hear that word, most people with a certain mindset, whatever that mindset is, they don't want to make a move on it. But, if you notice what Mike did say, even with him knowing that they're saying this is a recession, he asked, someone asked, what's the best time to buy? He said the best time now is if you're ready, willing, and able, you can buy right now. So definitely, call him again. Information, education is so vital. That's the key if you want to get information and share the information, spread the word, spread it. You know how they say, further the gospel, further the word on what we're talking about today. This is the reason that we're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
I don't want to start preaching. I get ready to stop preaching.
So our quote of today: homeownership is the cornerstone of a strong community. That's by Rick Renzi. Again, the numbers you gave in the communities, you have white owning about 70% of real estate. What is it, blacks?
Yeah, so white home ownership is at 74%, blacks are at 44%, and Hispanics are at 49%.
Okay, guys. So those numbers should do something for you, especially in our community. All our listeners, listen up. Let's, bridge that gap. Let's get homeownership in the community. Let's get out there. Talk to Mike. He can get you there, guys. Tell them again, Mike, how they can talk to you.
So my cell is 786-719-7117. And we literally, conversation, right? That's all we need to have. Hey, I'm interested in buying. These are the three things. This is my credit. This is my income. This is my down payment. What do you think? And we'll sit down and we'll have a conversation with you.
Awesome.
Yeah, he will.
Yes, he will. Well, I have one more nugget I also want to share. I've been traveling for the last couple of weeks, and I just went to a huge commercial real estate event with my commercial coach, and we were discussing about, how commercial real estate is really pushing into single-family home property ownership with these different REITs. Nationally, these REITs own over 40% of single-family homes, and they're really gearing up to start buying at the first quarter of the year. So it's so detrimental right now for people to start looking into and getting into home ownership, because the goal is to be for these REITs to be well over 50% of ownership of single-family properties and across the nation. We do not want this nation to be built upon being a nation of renters. So I think it's very detrimental. And like Mike said, if you're willing, able, ready to buy, let's go ahead and start this conversation. Let's get you guys prepared to go ahead and own a property.
Own more. You said buy the block. Like 19 Keys say, buy the block.
Exactly.
The first one is always the hardest. Right?
Yes,
the first one. Right.
The
first one is where you come in with usually you come in with all the money yourself, but then now you can leverage that property over time. We keep talking about the amortization, the appreciation. You're able to take out money from your property to buy another property in the future, and so that's how you're able to double, triple up, so on and so forth. Every single property that you get, it just starts with that one. From that one, that's going to get you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down the road.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so important. We have people getting upset because the community is getting gentrified. Buy the block, guys. Buy our block.
Come on with me if you want to be a partner with me. Come on, I need some partners.
Yeah,
I need some partners.
Right
but
now.
I know
we gotta set it up for generations to come, guys.
Right.
Like renting, you can't pass that down to the next generation.
Exactly.
Right. Let me just say this before we get ready to go off though. Vote. Yes, your vote counts. Your vote matters. Don't forget it. Go and take somebody. Go and take a friend. Go and take somebody who don't want to go. Go out there and vote. I am Dr. Karen Lewis. I am the co-host of Let's Talk SoFlo Real Estate, 954-248-9149. And I am the broker of K1 Realty Group, and we can help you with all of your home buying needs. And thank you all for joining us, Tamika and Alicia.
Yes, I am Tamika Moses, co-host of Real Estate in South Flow. I can be reached at 954-404-4646. I can be reached on all my social media at Tamika Moses _. And yes, please go out. Let's get this conversation started for you guys to get into home ownership. Alicia.
All right. And this is Alicia, your host of Let's Talk South Flow Real Estate. I'm a realtor with K1 Realty. Guys, go ahead and give me a call at 954-203-8826. Let's buy the block, guys. And let's finish it out with our host. How can they reach you, Mike?
My number, once again, is 786-719-7117. I look forward to having conversations with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Right.
Have a good Saturday. Vote.
Go out and go vote.
Thank you for listening to The Real on Real Estate with Dr. Karen Lewis. We are here live every first and third Saturday
at 11 a.m.
on AM 1490 WMBM.
The following is a paid advertisement. The information presented during this segment is not necessarily supported, endorsed, or promoted by WMBM Media Group, its staff, management, or other advertisers. The advertisers are solely responsible for any information listed or discussed in this segment.